Hi, my name is Kenny Hoffa. This is Public Speaking, and this is assignment number 2. I am a occupational safety and health specialist, and I've been working in the construction industry for a little over 12 years. I would like to talk to you today about fall protection. Your right to have fall protection, because it is your right, and your employer's duty to provide you with that fall protection. I'd like to take just a second to tell you a story about a guy named Jeremy. Jeremy was the all-around American boy. He was a very attractive young man with a beautiful wife and 2 young kids, and Jeremy was living the American dream. He was a man who got the job done. He was wanted by every crew because he, unlike a lot of people, would take those shortcuts to get that job done and please his supervisor. Jeremy was on the fast track. The more people that he would please, the more praise he would get, and eventually Jeremy ended up with his own division. He started working down in Savannah. I was lucky enough to go down and spend a week with Jeremy, helping him get things started. And while I was there that week, I met Jeremy's wife and his 2 children. And you could see those children loved him as he loved them. The following week, I got the phone call that Jeremy had fell to his death. He was on a shutdown and he took a shortcut. He was trying to get the job done to please his supervisor, and he just stepped off into oblivion. He fell 68 feet to his death. Now, Jeremy didn't have to die. A lot of people that work in the construction industry nowadays are taking shortcuts. As a matter of fact, in 1997, 429 people fell to their death. 429 people fell needlessly to their death. That number kind of struck me as just a high number, so I did some more research, and I found that in 2001, 468 people fell to their death. And I thought, well, that can't be 468, the number's going up. That's insane. And then I thought, well, I wonder how many of those people were kids. So I started doing a little more research. And as I got into NIOSH and the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, I found that the average age of a construction worker that falls to his death is 24 years old. Jeremy was 24 years old. I looked a little further and I found that one of the most frequently cited OSHA violations is lack of fall protection or duty to provide fall protection. And I thought, this is strange. There's people out here every day working on roofs. I don't see anybody with fall protection. But as I researched further, in the 1926, which is the Code of Federal Regulations for Construction Industry Labor, I found that it's the employer's duty to provide you with fall protection. How can this be? I decided to go ahead and talk to some people. So I went to a few construction sites. The first construction site I happened upon, there were several people on the roof and none of them had fall protection. And I asked them all if their employer provided them with fall protection. And to my amazement, I found out that fall protection was expensive. I can't afford those $50 harnesses for all these guys on the roof. If I spend $50 on each one of those guys on the roof, I might lose some money on the back end. Now, the profit margin on a roofing job isn't that great. And what I took that to mean was, if one of these guys fall, their life is only worth $50 to me. You see, as a worker, you have the right to be protected. The General Duty Clause says that each employer has to protect you from known hazards. He has to figure out what the hazards are, inform you of them, and then train you on how to fix those hazards or get rid of the hazards totally. Now, if you're working on a job site and people ask you to do things that are unethical, like go out into an area with no harness and work all day exposed to a fall of 6 feet or more, then you have the right to ask them to provide you with fall protection. You have the right to ask them to show you how to use it. It's your right. Now, you could end up like Jeremy. You could go out and try to get the job done and try to please your boss by taking a shortcut. But there's other people that you need to worry about. As I told you, Jeremy had 2 kids and a wife. Those are 2 kids that don't have a father. That's a wife who has to lay down and mourn the loss of her husband every night. You have a choice. You have a right. If you're the major breadwinner in your family, and your wife and kids count on you to come home every night and pay those bills and be that dad and go to those soccer games, go to those baseball games or football games, help with that homework, your role is much more important than just a breadwinner. You're the leader of that family. Now it's simply up to you whether or not you choose to use fall protection. But take it from a person who attended the funeral of a young man who had the rest of his life to live. Your kids don't deserve that. Your wife doesn't deserve that. You need to stand up and make your employer give you what is rightfully yours, a safe place to work, and the tools to protect you from a fall. Thank you.